We realized about a year and a half ago that we really had a problem coming.
The biggest problem is that it's so inexpensive. It's less expensive than a six-pack of beer.
It was kind of like nothing else mattered, you know, and I also felt that I was invincible as well. It was almost, it would be like Superman's cape, I guess, too.
I don't want anyone to know my daughter was a drug addict. And my wife and I came home and we sat and we talked about it, and the next day we went to the funeral and I told the world that she was an addict. Her grandfather had terminal cancer, and he had boatloads of OxyContin and Percocet. So we don't know when she started dipping into the bucket, but I mean, he always had so much of it, we couldn't tell. She was in high school, she was taking Percocet. You know, I guess that was all over the place. She was taking, they called them Perc 30s. It was 30 milligrams of Percocet. And then it got to be expensive. She moved up because she couldn't get as high. So she was taking 1 or 2 and 3 at a time. Then she went to Percocet 80 milligrams, and the cost was outrageous there. So the natural next step was to, you know, go to heroin.
She was a good person. This just got the best of her. This drug won. It won the battle.
Every day she was taking a carload of equipment out of my office, and it just got to be really, really bad. And then we went to the local authorities, and I talked to them, and the first person I talked to was like, let's just, you know, arrest her. And that's not really what I wanted to do. I didn't come to have her arrested. I wanted to get her help.
The choices are limited, especially in New Hampshire. You know, the services aren't available as they are in other states. There's no treatment facilities. Well, there's very few, but there's a 6 to 8 week lead time to get into them. Right? And if you have a bed, you can't afford it, and it's very expensive. Treatment is very expensive. A 28-day program, you know, at $10,000-12,000 just to go for 28 days.
When you hear from parents whose children are addicted, and they take you through some of the stories, you know, missing teaspoons in a house and couldn't understand why that was happening at the time. There are a lot of parents that don't know those telltale signs. In the state of New Hampshire, we have the highest opiate prescriptions in the country per capita. This has gone from rich to poor, from white to black, from young to old.
I got an injury playing hockey, and I went to the emergency room, and it was nothing too serious, but I got prescribed a couple Percocets to take home. And after that, I couldn't wait to find more. And I got introduced to people that were selling OxyContin, and OxyContin was big. My grandfather got cancer, and he lived with us, and he had bottles of them. So they were like readily available. You know, and I liked the way they made me feel. Once you realize you're not in control, it's hard to figure out how to live because you don't have control. I played college hockey. I interned at a district attorney's office. I had positive influences, but at the same time, you know, no one was telling me it was okay to feel sad and feel mad and how to deal with that.
When OxyContin became prevalent through Percocet abuse, nobody knew what it was. We all thought it was just going to be something like a cocaine, and you have some fun with it and then you can put it down. Not that it was physically addicting. So when it became more expensive, you know, it wasn't $30 or $40 anymore, it was $80 for an OxyContin 80. But you could buy a bag of heroin for $10. You know, the cost comparison became so much different.
The average age of our clients is about 23, 24, and it's been like that for a couple of years. So they're not, the addicts aren't getting older, they're getting younger, which means, you know, the problem is now widespread into the youth. There needs to be a continuum of care. You know, there needs to be, from the day they enter a 5 to 7 day detox, 30 days, into a long-term sober living for 6 to 9 months, and then follow-up care, you know, counselors. If someone were to get cancer or diabetes or have a heart problem, they would fall into a continuum of care, and their insurance would cover it, and they would have checkups and support groups. You know, unfortunately with the addict, people are dying, but after 30 days, you know, they just hope for a miracle and hope everything is going to get well.
See you later, Hank. See you, Nate. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Yep.